Look, if you had one shot, or one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted in one moment.
Alright guys, welcome to This Week in the MFL Week 3. I've been trying my best to get these out. I know I need to get 2 out back to back, so I'm going to be honest, I'm going to run through this and kind of wing it. Usually I draw up a little script, kind of have that to go off of, but tonight we're just going to wing it and see if we can't knock out 2 tonight and get that uploaded in the next couple of days, because we are already in week 5, so I'm falling behind. And I apologize, work's been kind of crazy, so let's just jump right in here. So the first game, we got the Packers on the road at the 49ers, and the 49ers come out with a big win here. Another game of a balanced attack for the 49ers. No defensive sacks, but they do get a turnover, and they have a really super balanced attack, which kind of seems to be their game this year, with over 100 passing and 100 rushing. Kaepernick has a solid game, 18 for 25, really good completion percentage, 2 touchdowns, the 1 interception. It's okay because Aaron Rodgers threw an interception on his own, as he passes for 265. The 2-headed running attack for the 49ers really wasn't here yet, but it did begin to shine the following week. And the 49ers do their thing. They kind of spread the ball around a little bit, play defense, and force you into some plays that you don't really want to be forced into. Jimmy Ward with a pick on the day. Ahmad Brooks with 9 tackles. Patrick Willis with 6 tackles. And just a tough game for the Packers. It's a close one, but they drop it, and the 49ers keep that early lead in the NFC West and make it tough on the rest of us. So we'll move on to the next one. We got the Redskins going to meet KO and his Patriots, and Clayton looks to be getting the hang of this. He's putting up some points. He does drop this one by a touchdown, but still a good showing. Patriots have a really great day on the ground with 246 yards rushing. That's pretty unbelievable. 2 sacks, though, for the Redskins, but the 2 turnovers do come back to haunt them. Actually, they get 2 takeaways. It's KO with the 2 turnovers, which kind of kept the Redskins in the game. The third down percentage is what hurt the Redskins, is only 38% on third down. Robert Griffin, 2 touchdowns, a really solid game. Passed the ball a whole lot, though, 48 times in the air. Alfred Morris with not a great game, but, 65 yards is still 65 yards. But look at this. Shane Vereen, 13 carries, only 13, for 222 yards, a long of 75 and 2 touchdowns. Ridley, only 12 carries, but 2 touchdowns. And Tom Brady with a very un-Tom Brady-like day. 12 for 29, 2 picks, and that's not going to be a good day no matter how you take a look at it. But it was that rushing attack for the Patriots that really hurt the Redskins. A good day from Sharpton with 5 tackles and a sack. And really, though, anytime you give up 222 yards on the ground, it's going to be a pretty tough night for you to come back and win, especially on the road. So the Patriots pick up a nice win and some great running game. They're going to have to do something about Tom Brady. Next game is going to be the Rams and the Eagles, and the Rams dropped this one on the road by 3 to the Eagles. Another game with some really big rushing yards. 223 yards rushing for the Eagles, 373 yards passing for the Rams. 1 takeaway for the Rams, 3 for the Eagles. Anytime you're on the road and you turn the ball over 3 times and not much of a running game at all, it's going to be tough to win. Third down percentage, both teams were terrible. 20% for the Eagles, 33% for the Rams. I'm pretty sure both these last 2 games have been sims, but we're just going to keep on rolling here and act like they were played. Nick Foles, 18 for 29, a touchdown and a pick. Mallett, 2 touchdowns, 373 yards passing, but 3 picks is always going to hurt you. McCoy doing just like the Patriots running backs, 13 carries, 204 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Look at this. Austin, 10 catches, 123. Britt, 11 catches, 139. I think I need to get a couple sims underneath my belt. Maybe I can get some stats like this. Not much defense played. Scott has a nice day. Ingram has a nice day. 7 tackles and 6 tackles, each with a pick. 1 sack for Cole. 1 pick over here for the Rams for Joyner. But tough game, whether it was played or not, I'm not sure. But a 3-point win for the Eagles is a 3-point win. Moving right along here, we got the Falcons 14, dropping it on the road to the Panthers 17. Another balanced attack from the Falcons, but they're going to come up just short. 3 sacks for the Falcons, a balanced attack, no turnovers. But again, it goes back to the third down. You can't keep the ball going. You allow the other team to come in only 33% on third downs for the Falcons. Let's take a look at a couple stats here. Matt Ryan with a great day, not turning the ball over, 2 touchdowns. Cam Newton putting up some big stats, but no touchdowns, no picks. Stewart, 19 carries, 78 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's always going to help. Dante Freeman, 10 carries, 109 yards, a long of 48, but no touchdowns. Julio Jones being very Julio Jones, like 8 catches, 108 and 2. And Greg Olsen doing his thing over here with 7 receptions for 109 yards. And yes, my battery's dying. So, and this is just a really nice win for the Panthers. Looks like Greg Hardy with a sack and a forced fumble to go along with 3 tackles. Peppers put into their old team with 4 tackles and a sack. Baldwin with 2 tackles and 2 sacks. So a really good game, defensive battle, and the Falcons drop one on the road. Next, we got the Dolphins and the Browns. And the Browns coming up with a big win here. I was kind of hoping the Dolphins would come through, but a 10-point road loss for the Dolphins. Another balanced attack. It seems to be that balanced attack that does it this year. 3 sacks for the Browns, a balanced passing and rushing attack, 2 takeaways, and only allowing 16%. I know he only had 12, but he only allowed 16, and at home that's going to help. Johnny Football, 2 touchdowns and 205 yards. Did throw a pick, but Tannehill threw 2 picks for 279. Not much rushing game on the Dolphins side. If he'd got the ball, he probably had a better day, but take away the long of 74 and there's not much there. Whereas on the other side, the rookie Sutton, 25 carries, 122 yards. That's going to be a nice day to keep the ball rolling, keep the clock in your favor. Mike Wallace having a big year this year, 10 receptions, 185 yards, but no touchdowns. We got to get some touchdowns up there to make it really pay off. And looking at a couple of defensive stats, we've got a couple of picks, a couple of sacks for the Browns, and a big win at home to kind of keep their season going here as the Dolphins are looking for some answers. Moving right along, we got the Bucs who've kind of been resurging this year and trying to make a run, but their old nemesis, a new owner, but those Saints beat them on the road. On the road, 16-7. Balanced attack from Dave, 168 passing, 112 on the ground. Both teams get 2 sacks, but that 1 takeaway looks to be pretty huge. Look at this, 71% on third down for Dave. That's nice. That's going to do well as you eat that clock. Drew Brees, nothing to brag about, 18, 24, 187. Glennon goes 9 for 17. That's pretty rough. Dougie Fresh Martin, only carries the ball 7 times, 35 yards. Whereas Sproles has got to be getting up there in age, but he's still doing it. 25 carries, 95 yards, and a touchdown. It's funny because when you look at it, the guy doesn't look like he can still do it, and Dave just does it. He just keeps feeding the ball, still picks up those yards. Robert Herron over here, 2 receptions, 92 yards, and a touchdown with the big play coming from him. And Drew Brees doing his thing, spreading the ball around, all kinds of catches all over the place. Looks like Kenny Stills may be the main go-to guy there in New Orleans. Looks like Champ Bailey, the old Champ Bailey, who is not retired, 2 sacks and an interception to go with 3 tackles. I'm sorry, but that's pretty funny. And the Bucs drop a big one on the road. This is going to be a tough game that's going to come back to get them later on. Another big win for Dave and his Saints, and as he kind of tries to find a way to get in the playoffs and get that first bowl win that he so desperately is chasing. Moving right along, we got the Cardinals and the Lions. And the Lions with a huge win on the road. And like I say a lot about this, I do have a recap video that is processing. So we're going to get that out to you guys for anybody who actually looks at those. But it was a balanced attack for the Lions. That defense is tough. They get pressure with their defensive line without blitzing. And anytime you can do that, you can just sit back in a zone or a man and pick teams apart. Bush with another big game, 61% on 3rd down. And just a tough loss for me at home. But I'll have a video about that later. The Cowboys get manhandled on the road in New York. And Papper is back in the NFL, has his team back. It's rolling right along here. And he's enjoying being home. And the Cowboys are just looking for answers. Both teams didn't do nothing too impressive rushing the ball. The Giants do have a good passing day, but here it is. It's 6 takeaways for the Giants that the Cowboys cannot stop from turning the ball over. The rookie Sam with 4 picks. The guy's got talent, played against him, and he's going to be a good quarterback if he can stop turning the ball over. Brock Osweiler, 2 interceptions of his own, but 308 yards passing. Kristen Michael over here with 20 carries, 84 yards. Not too bad of a day. But Odell Beckham Jr., 6 catches, 159 and a touchdown, representing the Tigers down here south up in New York. So we don't have anything much to say on defense. A bunch of picks for the Giants. 2 by Zach Bowman, 2 by DRC, 1 by Roll, and 1 by Prince. It's just the quarterbacks for Dallas can't stop turning the ball over. Until that stops, he's not going to be able to put up enough points to win. So 37-6 win at home is pretty impressive. So moving right along, we've got the Chargers getting demolished by the Baltimore Ravens. Again, it goes back to that balanced attack, eat up the clock, play some good defense, 4 takeaways for the Ravens, 18% on 3rd down for the Chargers, and just a balanced attack with 4 sacks. It's going to be tough to move the ball. Peyton Manning is struggling, 4 picks on the day, as the Ravens get Flacco back in the game. Beasley looked to have struggled a pick. Only 5 of 12 for 109 yards. Flacco comes in, goes 5 of 8 to kind of get the passing game going, but it's that balanced rushing attack by Pearson, Hillman that get things going for the Ravens. 5 catches for Emmanuel Sanders for 115. He seemed to be the only guy that can make a play for the receiving core of the Ravens. And, just really good defense. You got 2 interceptions by Webb, 1 by Stewart, a sack by Haloti, a sack by Cody and Elam and Brown. Just a good day for the Ravens at home, playing some really good defense, and a tough loss for the Chargers. Next we got the Titans and the Texans. And the Texans seem to be one of the the more confusing teams in the league. But the guy plays some tremendous defense. Look at this. He only allowed 62 yards passing, 45 yards rushing. He's got 3 sacks. And even though he turned the ball over 2 times, anytime you can allow that small amount of yards, you're going to get a good win. They're going to pick up a 3-point win at home. Savage, 2 more interceptions, only 7 for 11 for 97 yards. But Richardson just carrying the load, 34 carries for 145 yards, and no backup running backs took a carry. It's amazing how that happens. Sam Bradford didn't do much better. 5 of 10 for 77 yards. 17 carries for Nile Davis for 51 yards. He did get a touchdown, though. No receiver did anything worth even repeating, and it was all defense for both of these teams. A lot of sacks, a lot of pressure from the Texans. The Rams the Titans hang in there, but just isn't enough on the road. The champs keep on rolling here. I don't know how they're doing it. A little smoke and mirrors, but they're doing it. Next up, we got the Broncos hanging a 42 burger on the Bears on the road, and the defensive-minded coach in Webb has found his offensive weapons this year. 3 takeaways for the Bears, but they give up 72% on third down, 394 in the air, and 123 on the ground, and that's going to be tough. Not really what you would call a good day against the rookie quarterback. Johnny Fisher showing up and showing off. 394, 4 touchdowns as he goes 30 for 36. Jay Cutler going 26 for 45 for 219. Adrian Foster showing he's still got some juice in them old knees. 24 for 115 and 2. Demarius Thomas, 9 receptions, 165. Wes Welker, 6 for 106. And it's just it's a long day when you give up 72% on third down and you give up that many points on the road, at home, in a dome, outside, in the rain, in the snow. It doesn't matter. You give up 42 points and 71 or 72% on third down, you're not going to be able to do a whole lot. That's a nice win for Webb. Next game up is the Bengals and the Seahawks, and the Bengals are kind of my sleeper team. I think that they had a rough start to the season, but don't be surprised when this team turns it around. And they started off right here, showing the Seahawks, reminding them that they're still the old Seahawks, and they got to get things going here with a big 27-17 road victory. 3 takeaways for the Bengals. They do give up 63% on third down, and they did give up a balanced attack, but you know what? Their defense made the plays that they needed to make when they needed to make them, and they kind of ate up the clock with a really good rushing game from Trey Mason. 18 carries for 137. Palmer, the rookie, steps in, goes 9 for 10. Solid day, almost 200 yards, touchdown. Russell Wilson struggled, 3 interceptions. And only 1 touchdown. Not a terrible day for Lynch, but you take away the 45 yards on 1 play, and you don't really have a whole lot to look at here. Not a whole lot receiving. Just not a lot going on. Just some really good defense. Make plays when you got to make plays, and the Bengals are kind of taking that first step to getting things going. I like the Bengals in the second half of the season. The Raiders, in our favorite commish, with a 3-point win against his son, his dad, his grandfather. I don't even know anymore. But a nice win for the Raiders, a 3-point win on the road in Minnesota. 3 takeaways for Minnesota, but they're just not doing a whole lot on offense. And when you don't do a whole lot on offense, you only pick up 12% on third down. It doesn't matter what kind of defense you play. 4 sacks and 3 takeaways is nice, especially at home. But you give up a lot of rushing. A decent game rushing, 84 yards. Nothing to brag about. But still eating some clock. And you're not keeping the ball, and you're not getting the clock rolling. 3 picks for Derek Carr. as he goes 20 for 34 for 256. Teddy Bridgewater, he holds on to the ball a little bit better, but look at this, 11 for 23. That's just not going to cut it. Not much rushing game from either team. Darren McFadden did have 79 yards, but he had 19 carries. It's the 2 touchdowns that really helped him. Not really a whole lot from either team. Just some big plays from the Raiders. Big interception from Brown, and it was the defense for the Vikings that kept them in it. But they have to figure out this offense. They got to figure out if they're going to stick it out with Teddy. He played much better, but he's got to do better than 11 for 23. I mean, you just got to do better than that in this league. Raiders with a nice win. Another Raiders game, so that clearly was a mistake. Let's see here. Who should have that? What game should that have been? Where's the Raiders? Here we go. So it's the Chiefs. Let's see, is the Chiefs next here? Okay, so we got it. All right, so we got the Chiefs with a big win. Jeremy kind of getting the things going again. He wants to make another deep run. He hasn't won a championship in quite some time, and he gets a good win, 14-6 against the Steelers. Look at this. Only allowed 103 passing yards and 23 rushing yards, 3 sacks, 4 takeaways. That's some tough defense. Tyler Bray, touchdown, interception, 14 of 20, not too bad. Steelers trying to figure out if they're going to go rookie, if they're not going to go rookie. Seems to be the dilemma this year for a lot of teams. But look at this: 7 carries, 15 yards, 4 carries, no yards, 2 carries, 8 yards. You got to do better there if you're going to hang in this league and keep the ball and keep the clock rolling. Look to be all defense for your Chiefs. Sack by Cooper interception by Cooper and Barry, Gaines, and even Sean Smith grabs him one. Tamba Hali grabs him 2 sacks, one by Bailey. Just a really good game on the road. Play defense, eat some clock, and make the plays you got to make on the road if you're going to win in this league. Moving right along here, we got the Jets. Let me just make sure this is right. Yep, this is going to be right. We got the Jets with a really big win, 36-20. This team's been doing it with defense, but today they did it with offense. 211 and 135. They did get 3 sacks and it's the 4 takeaways. That's a nice game as the Jets get a really good win on the road against a really good luck-driven Colts team. Luck did throw 2 picks to go with his 3 touchdowns, but look at this: Geno Smith 16-24 with a touchdown, 214. Ivory and Johnson, the backfield, the lawyers getting it done. Nothing spectacular, but just grinding away, eating some clock, making it happen. Antonio Brown, 4 receptions for 103 and a touchdown. Ashon Jeffrey over here with 5 receptions for 127 and 3 touchdowns. He seemed to be the big target for Andrew Luck. Calvin Pryor with 2 interceptions from Luck, and the Jets make it happen. It's you get all those sacks, you make the plays that you're going to make with these 2 running backs. Geno doesn't turn the ball over. That's going to equal a 16-point win. That's a nice win for the Jets. Now you got the Bills and the Jaguars. The Jaguars, look, I know their record. They haven't won a game. They're not putting up a lot of points. I'm telling you, this team is built for defense. They got it going on. Look at this: 3 sacks and 3 takeaways. This defense keeps them in it. This is not good though. 0% on 3rd down, but they only gave up 25% on 3rd down. But 97 yards passing, 82 yards rushing. That's going to be a tough day. Blake Bortles throws for 3 picks, 104 as he goes 9 for 29. Got to get that passing game figured out there in Jacksonville. Delanie Carter, not bad, 16 carries for 69. Maybe should have rode him a little bit longer. But over here, Philip Rivers, 2 touchdowns, 226. He throws 3 picks for the Jaguars. Will do that to you. They'll force you into some really bad plays. And this is basically going to be the Jaguars all season. Really good defense, nothing on offense. If they can get the quarterback situation figured out, get some running game going, they're going to be good. Kiko Alonso, 2 picks to go with his 6 tackles. Troy Schuler, same thing over here, 2 sacks to go with his 6 tackles. And they just play really good defense. Nice win on the road for the Bills, but you know what? This is the Jaguars. This is going to be their season. Just play really good defense and hope for the best on offense. Alright, so that's week 3 in the books. Can't really look at a whole lot of stats. Can't really look at a whole lot of anything, to be totally, completely honest with you, because, well, it's already week 5. So this is what we're going to do. We're just going to take a quick look at all of this, kind of roll through here. Again, a couple of weeks behind here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to shut this off, save it, spit it out, come right back, see if we can't get week 4 out to you. Take a little bit deeper look at some of these things. I know the week 5 games are already coming in, and so thanks for watching. Check out the next one. Week 4 is going to be spitted out here in just a moment, and we'll see if we can't take a deeper look than just the game.
It's your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime.